All right, so this is the May 23rd, 2023 meeting of the Wallingford ARPA application review committee, a mouthful. I'm Mike Liddon, the vice chair, calling the meeting to order. With me is Jackie McNamara. She's to my left on the screen, and Chris Reagan down below. So we have a quorum of the group. We have an agenda for tonight. There's none of the members of the public are here, at least they haven't signed on, but we'll jump right in. Before we get into the agenda, I'd like to take a motion to table action on Front Porch Brewing. The town attorney has asked us to table action tonight on that application as they complete their submittals of financials.
Motion to table the application of Front Porch Brewing.
Okay, I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so that'll be tabled to our next, I'll carry that on to the next agenda. So we'll jump right into Aero Precision Manufacturing as the first application that we're going to review. And I don't know. Does anyone have any comments, questions, items that they would like to discuss regarding this request? And then anything?
None.
It's pretty straightforward. Just for purposes of the public watching tonight and or in the future. So we're using the evaluation criteria set forth by the town council. It's 100-point review. For the first set, it's 30 points, the degree of which COVID-19 pandemic created or contributed or to the demonstrated and clearly described financial adversity that the business experiencing. The next, for 40 points, the degree of which is demonstrated the applicant's proposed project will assist in the business and long-term recovery from the adversity and is not a temporary fix. For next 15 points, the degree to which the proposed budget for the project is appropriate, supported by documentation. And lastly, for the last 15 points, rounding up to 100, is the degree of which the proposed timeline for completion is reasonable and the project will be completed in 12 months. And basically for a positive referral, because we're just making referrals to the town council, we just have to carry an average of 70 between the three of us. So why don't we just go for the final scores on this application, unless anyone has any comments?
I gave it a 70.
65.
So it's 65 or 75?
65.
65. I did a 72. So this will be tight.
68.3.
68.3. And then with the
Standard deviation.
yeah, it's going to put it right over the pass. Do I have a motion to make a favorable recommendation to the council for award of a grant for this application?
Question on that though, are we doing the standard deviation calculations prior to sending it to the council?
I thought they were doing it.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. They're doing it. So why don't we'll stick with our scores and let them correct the scores to address it. I'm sorry. So this application failed to receive a 70 average, 68.3. Do I have a motion to take no further action?
So I'd like to make a motion that for the application of Aero Precision Manufacturing that we take no further action.
Okay.
Second.
Jackie seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. That motion passes unanimous. Next up, Charlemore LLC.
I gave it 65.
25.
Yeah, I was 60. So
Did you say 25, Chris?
Yes. I can do the handstands.
50.
Oh, you are the best, Jackie. Thanks for being my human calculator. So once again, this application fails to meet the 70 points. Do I have a motion for no further action to the council?
I'd like to make a motion that for the application of Charlemore LLC that we take no further action.
And second, Jackie.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
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 Unanimous. Okay, we're on to consolidated insurance.
68.
I gave it a 60.
I gave it a 65. So, of course, it had to be nice.
64.3.
So I'd like to make a motion that for the application of consolidated insurance, that we take no further action.
Second.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
This is cruising along. Design house interiors.
I gave it a 58.
5-0.
60. 58.
I messed that one up, Harlan. Can you tell me your numbers again? Sorry. 5-8. Chris, what was
5-0.
Yeah.
5-0.
It's 60 for me.
Oh, I did do it right. 56.
So once again, fails to get 70. Motion for no further action to recommend no further action to the council.
So I'd like to make a motion for the application of design house interiors that we take no further action.
Second.
All right, motion second. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are on to Plunski's Garage.
I gave it an 80.
75.
75 here.
76.6.
All right, so that one passes.
So I'd like to make a motion that for the application of Plunski's Garage, that we refer the council to take positive action in the dollar amount of $25,000.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, that passes unanimous. We're on to Fancy Nails.
I had a question on this. I did pass it, but I did have some concern regarding some of the money can't be used for what they want it to be used for. But I don't know. Hold on, I don't have that application open.
Yeah, so they have, the budget was rent, income
Yeah.
tax.
Right, the taxes. If
Yep.
this is the one.
That was what, $1,500 that were for income taxes.
Right.
I agree with the balance of the application excluding that. Meets, maybe we could recommend that it's 23.5 would be the award grant.
Well, so then again, I would take again, meaning in previous conversations, this does appear based on the financials and the application that this is rented and or leased space.
Mhm.
And they also have building repairs in the tune of $9,000 being considered as part of this. So that brings us into the situation that we've had previously. Do we have the building owner's approval? Are these leasehold improvements? Are these temporary fixes where the landlord will not? There's plenty of questions that I have, enough to the degree where I don't know in any of the, outside of the equipment and other ones that I would support approving this. We can make it contingent if that sentiment is there, but seeing that there is a tax liability where the nature of the application state there shall be no tax liability, I'm more inclined to not to pass this one. But we'll defer to the committee's infinite wisdom for further conversation.
Yeah, I mean, I said my concern with the income taxes, and I agree with Jackie on maybe carving that out. I passed this, but I passed this by a slim minority. I mean, we're talking, I think 72 was my score.
I gave it a 75 with my questions, wondering if this one is actually, according to ARPA because of what they're asking for. So I had the same concerns as Chris.
And the other thing, Chris, you bring up a great point is that, if we think of it with some of our not-for-profits, like, for example, Wallingford girls softball, we conditioned on the issuance of the grant that they proved they have the rights to make those improvements at Gaylord. So, I mean, I think we have already gone down that road and saying, listen, you got to demonstrate you can do this stuff in order to get the money as a condition. I think that would be a responsible condition, along with taking out that $1,500 for the income tax. If
Okay,
everyone's comfortable with
so
that.
let's look at, what are we looking for? So I'd be a 70 in that case, and would put the motion in to, I'll phrase the motion appropriately.
Okay.
But if we're scoring right now, I'm a 7.
How about you, Mike?
I was a 72, but to begin with, the taxes being carved out of that, I am not in favor of the
Right.
full vote. And I think that the safeguard of having that they have to demonstrate they have approval from the landlord to do the improvements for issuance of the award, the granting of the award.
Perfect. The total comes out to 72.3 with those conditions.
Okay, so
I'd
it
like
passes.
to make a motion that for the application of fancy nails, that we refer to the council, that in the application of fancy nails, we refer to the council for approval in the amount of $23,500, contingent upon $9,000 of the building repairs outlined in their application be approved by their landlord, or that in the case where it is not, that the application be further reduced by an additional $9,000 for a total of $14,500. Check my.
Okay.
It's not right.
Second.
Okay. All those in
Check my-
favor?
Did you check my math?
You're good.
I did not check your math.
No, we said we're starting at 23.
Okay,
So it's 14.5, yeah. You're
Yeah,
we're impressed with your math skills.
my
Region-
calculator works really well.
region 15.
All right, okay, we'll move on now. Fusion Fitness.
I gave it an 80, high pass. I love their idea. I 100% agree with what they're doing, and it meets all the criteria for ARPA. So I gave that an 80.
8-0 for me too.
Yeah, and same here, so it's gonna be easy for that, because you're right, Jackie, it was a very nice application, so. All right,
80.
with that, 80 even is our average score. Do I have a motion for a positive referral in the amount of 25,000?
I would like to make a motion that for the application of Fusion Fitness and Dance, that we refer to the council for approval in the amount of $25,000.
Second.
All right, all those in favor? Aye.
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 Okay, we're on to J&M Ventures South Broad Street Paint. And I don't remember this one for some reason.
They want to create a
showroom.
showroom space.
Yeah, okay.
I gave it a 65.
68 for me.
I would go with a 65 on this one.
66.
So I'd like to make a motion that for the application of J&M Ventures DBA South Broad Paint and Home Center, that we take no further action.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're on to Jolie. Jolie Foot.
I scored it an 80. I did have some questions, the same thing, just about, as long as his landlord is approving of some of the changes that he wanted to make. And then I was rent and utility expenses. Hold on, I don't know why I have that note.
Yeah, because he wants to, he's asking for rent and utilities to be paid during the shutdown as he does this construction. It's $2,000
Oh, it's during the construction? I didn't read.
During the shutdown. you
during
guys-
renovation shutdown.
Oh,
Does it fall within?
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, I know that he provides a great, he's been in business for 10 years. He provides a great service. People highly recommend him. So yeah, for me, I scored him an 80.
yeah,
what
I was 75 on this one,
I'm a 70.
so it'll pass. And what's my average?
75 is a total. 75.
75, that's great. Okay,
So I'd like to make a motion that for the application of Jolie Foot Reflexology, that we refer to the council for approval in the amount of $15,200.
Second.
do you want to include the authorization from the landlord? Similar to the other application?
Sure.
Contingent upon.
Sorry,
Yeah.
Chris.
No, that's fine. The issue, I think, well, so we've got the issue, let's break this down now. Bathroom renovation, equipment and installation. For instance, does a toilet and hand bars for elderly consist of, I mean, is that something that needs to get approved? Heating and cooling system, absolutely makes a fundamental change. Is there anything else? You know, hand washing installation seems to have additional plumbing and therefore associated.
So I tend to go conservative on this, just for the fact that when you're modifying a bathroom in a commercial setting and you are assuming you're doing it pursuant to code and making it ADA compliant, if it's not, the property owner then is liable for this facility should someone come in and not be able to use the facility if it's not accessible. So that's why I would like the landlord to just be aware that these changes are occurring. Because I've seen this in the past. Same thing, like I know he says replacing dryer machine, washing dryer machine there. Well, does that involve any, are they changing out the lines, etc.? Like, you know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
So I would just prefer, I think it's being on the conservative side of saying, let's just make sure the landlord signs off on this stuff.
So our dollar amounts that we're putting contingent on are 4,000 for bathroom, 1,500 for heating and cooling, 1,200 for washing and dryer machine, and 4,000 for hand washing installation. Total that I come up with is 11,700. I too am limited to one screen.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and second. All those in favor with that?
Aye.
Aye.
Let me remake the motion. Unless
Okay.
unless you think we're all set.
I think, you know, with the amended motion there, we're set. I don't think
Okay.
we have to redo it. I
Okay.
have it, I got it written down, so I will make sure that it's clear in the report.
Okay, good.
So we're moving on to Lascara.
I gave Lascara an 80. I know that they really tried to work hard to stay open, maintain their employees, not raise their food prices. They've been in business 25 years. You know, they certainly have, they're an asset to that neighborhood. My concern was just they wanted to give their employees bonuses.
Hmm.
So I was kind of like rationalizing and reasoning in my head regarding that, and I took a humanistic approach, and I gave him an 80.
I'm at a 65, 6.5.
I'm at a 70.
Uh, 71.6.
All right.
So I'd like to make a motion that for the application of Lascara Restaurant, we refer to the council for approval in the amount of $25,000.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Sorry, Jackie, I tried to get on the meeting minutes. Okay, we're on to Lenny's Cafe.
This one needs conversation.
Yes, it does. Would you like to start that conversation?
So the list, so their list of the entire project's $46,625. They have two sections in their budget request. One section under budget goes from the cleaning crew, advertising, social media, holiday stroll, bar stools, chairs, refrigerators, coolers, those types of things. And I think that I would pass it if it was just that application being considered. The questions that I have, well, there's an immediate, the two items that they have under help offset fixed cost increases from 2020 that I have a problem with. The first is an SBA loan payback that is not allowed. The other section is $8,400 for a cost of goods sold, 10% increase, just because. And not trying to diminish the importance of the increased prices that we've had, supply chain issues, everything from eggs to pasta to whatever else that we have on there. It's just too vague for me to be able to support that. Now, I think I'm okay with the additional, how they calculated it, unusual from anybody else's, as the differential in rent for 12 months. That was the cost basis from 2020 to the time of the application. Don't know what it is from the time of the application till today. So as long as those are moving forward costs, I think I'm okay with that. Same and similar with the utilities. That seems to be the differential, and you can't run a restaurant, you can barely run a home on $200 worth of utilities as well. Insurance cost increase, I think is covered under there, and a cost for an accountant is $600. However, we're looking at all of this in context of the $46,625,000 project. We have one additional ask for $10,000. That is to create a patch to the basement inside of the bar to open up more room in the kitchen for storage, etc. And then the application then goes to possibly reopen in full to serve lunches again, or for convenience, etc. It's too vague and undefined. I don't know everybody else's thought, and I'm interested in hearing from both.
So, well, the one thing I'm struggling with is that their request is exceeding what we can grant. Where the max is $25,000. If you go into that page that describes the budget, that first, starting with cleaning, we're at $14,625 for that portion of their budget. And I'm struggling then, I agree with the things you picked up on the SBA loan payback, that's no. The cost to the COGS $84,000, $10,000 increase, that's a no. I was gonna add up the rest and see where we get from there.
I'm in, I'm in agreement as well. I mean, again, I'm gonna go back to its, its presence as town has been 45 years. The first half, I agree with everything that they're asking for. And then some in the second. The trap door, I kind of get it, instead of going outside, having to go in. Go outside to go back inside, so the trap door would just be in the kitchen. So for me, that makes sense inside the bar. But yeah, I'm in agreement with what you guys are saying as well. So to total up what we agree with and then see what that comes out to.
So I just added, now, one or two ways we can approach this. If maybe, let me screen share the application quick. I added the first portion of that budget. That was the 14,000 and change.
Yep.
And then what I'm struggling with is getting down here of, do you just skip down to the $10,000 and then get it to 24, what would it be, 24, 25, I think. Let me recheck that number. And that really just takes out all of the help offset fixed costs.
Yeah.
I'm just suggesting that as an approach, but it's not going to be the full 25,000. It's going to be a very exact number of it.
So I would support this at 24,625.
Me too.
No, but I mean, you can't force them to open for lunches. Being its additional storeroom, are we adding to their application by making suppositions? Are we, I think I would score just at a 70 at the 24,625 number. I mean, you would still need quotes to do that. Still is going to need code as an entry way, etc. But I think that would be for legal to define.
Let's see what our total. I'm just verifying my math right now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's 24,625, 14,625 for the first. And then if we take it at the $10,000 for the second, for the third part, then we're at 24,625.
I was in the same boat with you, Chris, as saying, yeah, it passes with a 70 for me, based on that amount. And so basically excluding everything in the offset chart.
Okay.
I scored it an 85 and that comes out with 75 with you guys at the 70.
All right.
So I'd like to make a motion that the application, I'm sorry. I'd like to make a motion that for the application of Lenny's Cafe that we refer to council for approval in the amount of $24,625.
Second. Ooh, Jackie got it. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're on to M&L Terrace.
74 for me.
I gave it a 70.
I gave it a 72.
71.3.
I'd like to make a motion that for the application of M&L Terrace Properties, refer to the council, send to the council for approval in the amount of $25,000.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, we're on to Mad Tents.
I gave it an 82.
Just looking up. Sure.
70.
70 for here.
74.
What's the total? Total is 25,000 for this one, right?
Yes.
So I'd like to make a motion that for the application of Mad Tents LLC, refer to the council for approval in the amount of $25,000.
Second.
All those in favor?
Uh,
All right, we're on to Maselli Farm.
I gave it an 80.
I too.
I gave it a 75.
Chris, did you say what you gave?
80.
Oh, sorry. 78.3.
I'd like to make a motion that for the application of Maselli Farm, that we refer to the council for approval in the amount of $25,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, we're on to Miss Melissa and the nail and wax room.
This one I have questions on.
Yes. You want to start that conversation, Jackie?
Sure. So, they've been in business for 8 years. I'm confused regarding the application because they're not sure if they want to rent a new space and remodel the new space, buy a new space and remodel the space. So it's kind of like a wish list, but we don't really know what we're giving it to. So it's confusing. Yeah, it's the future. They want to get a new space. So I'm not sure if this meets the criteria, if they can't provide us with any information regarding the space that they may or may not obtain.
So it's funny you say that because that's when I start going to look at what we're the grading criteria, the 2 15-point sections, I don't see how they get any points for me on those.
Yeah, I had a hard time grading.
I agree because that budget is like, well, we're gonna do this today, but tomorrow we may do that with no real justification.
And I feel bad because, it's a nail and wax room. So I know that, it shows that they definitely had a loss.
And
But it's just not clear.
it's funny because you go to the first 2 sections and they can score in the first 2 sections. It's really struggling with demonstrating you complete it and what exactly is this budget we're operating with.
Yeah.
I don't know, Chris, what's your feelings?
No, I the same exact ones. I can't ascertain online the locations if it's changed during this time, but I don't even know if it has, what it means. I mean, what's the scope of work between then and now? It's almost like we want to send an application back. Please resubmit if there was anything associated with that. I think the best thing that we can do as far as this one, further action, appeal to the council under a new set of circumstances that probably exist.
I like that approach.
So no score and send it up, or
Yeah,
No score, in fairness to them, send it up and
sure.
they can make their case with the elected officials.
so I'd like to make a motion that for the application of Miss Melissa LLC, nail and wax room, that we refer it to council to consider asking for clarification on this application.
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. And next up is New England cider. And that's another one I think we're gonna trigger a conversation, if I recall.
I was okay with this one. They've been in business 9 years. They show a loss. They did receive PPP of 54.
Mhm.
However, what they want to do, I thought it would definitely, support their business and
Mhm.
maintaining their business and allowing their business to grow. So I actually gave it an 85. But I'd like to hear others.
Mike, you go first.
What, Chris?
I said, Mike, you go first.
Yeah, so I was looking first at the online application and, you know, it shows I'll say that it's a business that's surviving. But I do agree with the PPP loans, so that's a deceiving number. I looked at their taxes. I agree, it's a capital investment. It's going to improve their canning business and the fermenting. What did they say? How do they put it? I really, I don't know. I don't know where I stand on this one. I was kind of struggling on this.
So are these fundamentally, are these funds to be used for economic development or further expansion of the business?
Mhm.
Did they have a COVID impact? I think by the financials, so one could argue, you know, merely looking at the top line that they did not. They have to really dig deep into all aspects of the business, which we don't necessarily have a true picture of via the tax returns, the blood, sweat, equity, and everything that's put into these businesses. I do know that they are a well-established business. They succeeded. Not gonna say wildly successful, but you know, I've seen growlers throughout the town and people carrying them around the holidays and stuff. So, you know, the question is funding an expansion of their product line, which they couldn't do during COVID given those circumstances.
Mhm.
So, you know, I would say this is I would just barely pass this one.
Yeah, you kind of. That's where I was waffling. Like when I first totaled it, I was like at a 65, and I was like, let me look at it again, and I got it to 70 as my final score.
So
It barely passes.
If we're 70s and Jackie's an 85, Jackie?
Yeah,
I did, but now that I am looking at it more, I don't know. I think I was thinking like, so in 2019, it was 290. Yeah, they made money in 291. But I think I was doing the same thing if they weren't shut down in 2020. You know, there is a loss because how much would they have made? But they definitely, I think I would lower my score maybe to 75.
Okay.
Still pass.
It's still a passing. It's a low pass.
Yeah. You both had 70?
Yeah.
71.6.
So I'd like to make a motion that for the application of New England Cider Company, that we refer it to the council for approval in the amount of $25,000.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, we're off and running to the last one on the agenda tonight. It's On-Site Electric LLC.
Let me relook at this one.
I'm doing the same.
Yeah.
Oh, this was the one that we don't know where, so they're working, it's already something in the works.
Yeah.
And it's in
Mhm.
Grand Avenue, which is New Haven. It's not Wallingford. I know there are businesses in Wallingford, but this application to me I didn't understand. It was vague. You know, they received PPP for 78 and 74. And then another one, Connecticut, that was deferred, I think. I can't read my own handwriting, for 16,000. So I was a little lost on this one.
Yeah.
I don't have any familiarity, nor was anything that I looked up today indicative of a project at 555 Grand Avenue. I wasn't sure it was in Wallingford. I know that Grand Avenue in New Haven. Google Maps and doesn't show. I just, you know, I'm looking in surrounding towns, wondering where this is going to, and I can't and have the dollars already been spent?
Right.
If they're, I can't, I mean, it's a tremendous financial hit if you blame it on COVID between 2019 or 2020. But if they do project flips and renovations, it's cyclical, it's market demands, it's all different type. I just don't have enough on this. So if we want to score it, or if we want to send it, I
was struggling with that too, because it clearly, how exactly are they using this money? What exactly is this project? I can't tell.
Right.
And as we said, is it something that's out of town? I mean, granted, we're giving it to a business that's in town. So that was also what I was struggling with. Well, they're on Hemingway, it's almost like one of those ones, well, if you guys can just clarify exactly what you're doing, maybe then we could act on this. But by the documents provided, I can't tell. And maybe no further action, maybe the route to go without avoiding scoring it. Because if we score it, it will not get a positive referral from me. And I'm assuming both of you agree.
Yeah. So I'd like to make a motion that for the application of On-Site Electric LLC, that we refer it to the council for consideration of further action.
My question with that, I agree, and I second that. But then are we giving this company another opportunity to switch their project up? Right. So the Grand Avenue one, maybe it's paid for and maybe it's done. So, okay, now we're working on this project, where we're not giving other applicants the chance to do that. But in fairness to them and to us, I agree. There's not enough information. So I second it, town council taking a look at it.
Well, I mean, we can change that, close it, to define to the council what the 555 Grand Avenue project is. But again, we've denied others because of lack of supporting documentation. This has zero supporting documentation. And it's 25,000 for something to help in doing something or other that we don't know about. So if we don't want to score it out of deference to the organization who's been here in town for a while.
10 years.
Yeah, well, to give them the opportunity to plead their case, I would think that it would have to be the same project name. That's 555 Grand shows up 3-4 different times in the application to switch it to Danny's Treehouse, for example, but or something like that at the last minute. It's outside the spirit of the application.
Okay.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah. Agreed. So we have a motion for referring to the council for further follow-up.
Aye.
Everyone in favor?
Aye.
All right. And with that, we've completed this agenda for this evening.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Adjourning? Aye.
Stop recording.
Hold on.
All right.